Da, da, da.
Welcome back to Fans of the Band Inside the Westlake Marching Band podcast. This is Tanya, and I am looking forward to having listeners learn all about the color guard in this episode. This is episode 7. Can you believe it?
It is hard to believe. And we've had over 500 downloads.
That's impressive.
We've had them all over the world.
For something that we've just created for our own amusement, that's pretty awesome.
I guess if we amuse ourselves, we amuse others too.
I guess so.
Share the fun. So I am Erin, and I want to once again disclaim, I guess disclaim is a word, that I want to use the disclaimer, we are for our own amusement, and we are not from Westlake.
We hope you enjoy this episode.
We are here today to talk all things color guard and winter guard with the fabulous Kaysey Thompson.
Hello.
I'm like really excited about this because I think I might know the least about color guard. Or I don't know, but I just love watching color guard though. Like sometimes, and I hate to say this because this is, like kind of think about the whole marching band, but I think a lot of times the color guard sort of takes my interest or just away from everything else, and I just love watching.
That's good. A good color guard
Just love it. I know. So I can't wait to hear all of your answers. But we're going to start with our rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Every week I try to get better and better at this, so we'll see how well we do today. So here we go. Where did you go to high school?
I went to the Norfolk County Agricultural High School in Walpole, Massachusetts.
All right. Did you play an instrument?
I did. I played the trumpet and the French horn.
Oh, wow. Did you do marching band?
Never.
Okay. And did you go to college?
I did not, technically.
All right. What is your favorite prop that you have ever used?
We call it equipment.
Okay.
Saber.
Ooh. How long have you been working with Westlake?
I started teaching at Westlake in 2017 in the spring semester, and I became the color guard director. This will now be year 5.
All right. So you've made it through the rapid fire questions.
Okay, you were the best.
Yeah, you were the best so far. So congratulations, you're a winner. This is very exciting. I've already learned something. Instead of prop, we call the different items equipment.
Equipment, yeah.
Which is awesome.
People do say props, but generally speaking, when it comes to the standard rifle saber flag, we say equipment, yeah.
Okay. Later on, there's a question that my husband wanted me to ask, and he actually used the word weapon, and I was like,
that's correct, actually.
Because he was thinking about rifle and
it's correct.
And saber and all that.
So
really?
Rifle and saber are considered weapons. So if you spin a rifle or a saber in the show, you'd be considered to be on the weapon line.
Ah, okay.
Versus the flag line.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. That's so interesting.
But, nowadays, it's a scary thing to say, but that's not what
it means.
My brain
really
processes when that comes out of my mouth,
Yeah, that is fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. Were there any questions that I asked in the rapid fire that you wanted to go back to?
Sure. The whole marching band, high school, college thing, so my journey to get here is going to look quite a bit different than the other directors. I'm from the Northeast, from New England, where I grew up. We didn't really do marching band.
Okay.
Where I'm from, my high school did not have a marching band.
Oh.
So I actually started touring with DCI when I was 11.
Wow. Really?
Mm-hmm. So that was my, I guess, marching quote unquote experience, was all drum corps based.
I thought there was an age requirement, I know you can age out, but isn't there also a minimum age? I guess in this case, maybe not.
Not really. So now they have open class and world class drum corps. It used to be back in the dark ages when I was 11. It was Division 3, Division 2, and Division 1 was the big world class corps. So I was in a Division 3 corps for the first 4 years or so of my drum corps career. Wow. And I was actually in the trumpet line my first year.
Really?
I was terrible. Just awful. As far as the high school, college thing, I actually went to a collegiate high school where I studied veterinary medicine for 4 years.
Wow.
So that kind of is a two birds, one stone. Technically, I did not go to a university, but I did do collegiate high school, and I practiced veterinary medicine for a short while there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more
Very
you know.
cool. I know, right? This is awesome.
I love hearing people's roundabout stories.
Me too.
My daughter's taking a roundabout path.
It's a lot roundabout. And my intention after going to veterinary school, I wanted to work at the San Diego Zoo and all, like you do when you're a kid. And I started working at a cat hospital, which suits me if you know me at all. And then I was planning to go back to school and go on with college. And I had a friend call me and say, hey, Disney is having auditions next weekend. And my life took a really hard left.
What were these auditions? I have a lot of friends that have played Disney over the years.
Yep. I went down to Orlando and auditioned to be in the shows and the parades at Disney World. And I was 19, and that was my very first professional job. And I have been working ever since.
But wait, so you probably did not audition on trumpet?
I did not. No.
What did you do?
I was a dancer.
Oh, okay.
I was a dancer. I guess you can call it maybe an actor. I was a dancer who acted, definitely not an actor who danced. But it was really cool, and it was like I lived on a friend's living room floor on an air mattress and was doing the struggling artist thing at 19, and I was like, this is it, I've made it, but it was awesome, and that kind of grew into me eventually touring with a Broadway show for 20 years that I am now the creative director of.
Wow.
And it's been a
cool.
long road. I have taught university.
I
have check stubs that say Professor Thompson on them, which is funny, but no, I did not technically go to college. So that's kind of the more complicated answer to that.
I'm glad we went back and talked about that.
Me too. Yeah, the wheels are just turning all the questions we could ask. So
I have a question about it though. So in band, Disney is often considered a pretty good stepping stone job. Yeah. Is it same for dancers?
Yeah, I mean, so it's just like anything else at Disney for dancers and actors, there's non-union jobs and union jobs. The union jobs are a little harder to get. I was only 19 and I was a non-union. So yes, it helped me a lot, and it was technically a professional gig and it was awesome. But I mean, I wasn't really making enough to make a living, or I didn't have health insurance or any of those things, but I know a lot of people who are lifers at Disney and been gone through the company and been with them forever and ever and ever. I was only there for a short while.
So an actor dancer moving into color guard, that's a big step away, really.
It was the opposite. I did color guard first. So I don't want to jump ahead.
Oh, we'll jump all over.
yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
My parents were both guard directors.
Oh, okay.
So my fun anecdote is that my mother actually went into labor with me at a color guard banquet.
Oh, wow.
So I was always around it. I've never not had it in my life. Right. My parents met in DCI. So I am inbred, as they say, when it comes to drum corps and color guard and all of that. So I always did color guard. I started my first year competing was 1986. And it was just something I always did, and just kind of came around full circle to where I ended up where I am now after.
So did you keep it up while you were touring with the Broadway show?
I did. So actually the Broadway company that I still currently work for, it is called Blast is the show.
Oh, I've seen that show. Yes.
And there is color guard in the show.
Yes. Have you not seen it?
I have not seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a Tony in 2001 and an Emmy for the PBS broadcast for best choreography. It was a really big thing for a while, and now it tours mostly in Japan. So I actually just got an email this morning from the Japanese producers about a tour this summer. So it's still going strong over there. Big deal over there. They love it.
Okay, here's what I really want to know. We know that there's a show designer who designs like all aspects and all the different pieces and whatnot. When it comes time to deciding kind of what outfit the folks in color guard will wear. Is that also pretty much determined by the show designer and or kind of what role do you get to play in that?
So there were a couple different answers to that. So in the fall marching season, we have those show designers.
Right.
In the winter, I design all of the shows myself. Part of the deal with our show designers here in the fall, and something that's very, very important to me, is that I get the final say on what they look like and what they're wearing, and making sure that they feel comfortable and confident and that they look great. That's not always the case for everybody. There are a lot of guard directors who they're like, yep, I trust you. And, that's great. For me, I'm a little bit of a control freak when it comes to I just want the kids to feel good. And
how do you choose something that's flattering to the majority of the kiddos? Like, how does that work? It seems like it would be hard to do.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but I'll tell you a secret about that. If you teach the kids to stand up and be confident and be comfortable in their own skin, they're going to look good.
Oh, okay.
So to me, it's less finding something that's going to look good on them and more making them feel good in anything that they're going to wear.
In what they're wearing.
Yeah. That said, I also really like clothes. And the kids know that my rule is if I wouldn't wear it to the grocery store, you don't wear it at all.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. So it's important, They're going out, be in front of their peers at football games, and if they're not comfortable and they're not confident, nothing else is going to matter, I have a mentor that told me, I say it all the time, if you don't look good standing still, nobody's going to care what you do.
My grandma used to tell me it's not going to be seen by a blind rider on a galloping horse.
Yes. Yeah.
Very different concept.
Yes. Yes.
But a great phrase.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's so important to empower the kids to be comfortable in their own skin and whatever they're wearing. And I do always make sure to get their opinion. If, like, for instance, this year we have a little bit of midriff showing. It's not something we do very often, but I go to every single kid and, hey, is this something you're comfortable with? If you're not comfortable, just come let me know and we will figure it out. I have one of my guard captains, for religious reasons, doesn't show her shoulders. So I had a special piece made for her. She looks like $1 million. She's happy. She's comfortable. It's the least I can do.
Also, when you're thinking of the different outfits they wear, do you also try to think about how different parts of their outfit can be used, almost like flags are used, or like for effect, or
like the butterflies?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's more of an outdoor thing. Because you're so far away. Like last year they had those kind of poncho things that were really lovely. In indoor, I like for the focus to be on the performers and what they're doing, and I don't personally aesthetically care for hangsies, downsies,
Like
and
hangs,
ruffles and things that are going to distract me
or whatever.
It's not for me. I like clean lines, and I like simple and classic, and I want to see the performer. I don't want to see, this, I don't know, where you're wearing a giant orchid or whatever, So that's my aesthetic. Everybody's a little bit different, Yeah. But I'm lucky that I have a program where I have the freedom to kind of choose what I would like.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think I answered your question.
No,
I don't
you
know.
totally
I'm terrible
did.
at that.
You totally did.
Okay.
But seriously, one of my favorite things is watching the color guard. And usually I land on one or two different people and kind of end up watching them for most of the show. And then I'm like, wait, I should also be watching everybody else. But
it's hard. It's hard to pull back and see the big picture. But, that speaks to those performers if they're able to pull your focus.
Okay, maybe we should ask her about her story and how things got started here in Westlake.
I would love to hear how you built a program in Westlake from the very beginning, starting back there when you were just a consultant to.
Yep. So I actually moved here from New York to work for a record label. I was not intending to be in the marching arts at all. And the former color guard director here, Andrew Barbary, we didn't know each other, but he kind of heard that I was in town and blind sent me a message and said, hey, I work at Westlake. Do you think you would come in and do some choreography? And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? Mm-hmm. And here we are. No. And then, it sort of snowballed. And for a while I was doing a lot of freelance traveling from school to school and working also my music industry job at the time. And it just kind of got to the point where that was no longer suiting me. And so then I was doing the freelance thing full time. Mm-hmm. And I had never really wanted to be a director because I like, I'm an artist and all the, I like doing that part of things. Yes. And so it was really daunting to me to do all the logistical things and be an adult and be a teacher. And when the former color guard director bowed out was the very first time that I was ever like, you know what? I think that this is a good program for me to break my own rule. Yeah, that was it. I applied and it worked out really well, and it felt a little bit more seamless than it can when those things happen because I had already been here and I had already been training the kids and getting to know them. And so, that was great. And then after the first year, I got greedy and I wrote the course proposal for the middle school classes. So now we have color guard class on 3 campuses every single day.
How long have the classes been at the middle schools?
This is the 3rd year for middle school classes.
So this would explain my observation at the football game last Friday, where you had the middle school, you had the 8th graders come in and perform with your color guard. Mm-hmm. And they came in seamlessly.
Yeah, they did awesome.
Mm-hmm. They did awesome. Those flags, they were great. Yeah. And then the opposing school's band came in, and their color guard was not even close to as tight anywhere along the way as the 8th graders were inside your program.
Yeah, I mean, we're a little not spoiled. I mean, it takes a lot of work, but in the sense that I do get to see them every day, and I have a great team of staff that comes and works with them. I have 2 assistant coaches who are a little younger than me. And so it's, they're cool and the kids get excited when they come in, and they've been working hard. They started learning that routine back at the beginning of September. And so they had every day to work on it. And I don't treat my middle school students very differently than my high school students on purpose. I have found that they are going to meet me wherever I'm at, and they're going to give back whatever I give them. And so I set the standard for them, and they went that and crushed it. I thought they did great, and they had a great time. It was really sweet.
I thought they looked great.
Yeah, thank you.
What is as having been a performer, your favorite outfit to wear as a performer?
Oh gosh, it's been a really long time. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's okay.
Obviously, the things that I now design to put on my performers are things that suit me aesthetically. So I was very lucky in the majority of my career to never have to wear anything that I felt silly in. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if I have like an all-time favorite. I'm simple. Mm-hmm. I've never had to wear anything that had a cape or a tail or ears or anything, Yeah, I don't really know. I prefer pants. Not much of a skirt girly or a dress person, but we had one in 1999. We did a show about New York. I was in the cadets from New Jersey, DCI group. And we did a show about New York, and the costume designer actually designed the silhouette of the costume based off of the picture that you see on a bathroom door.
Oh, okay.
The men and the women. Mm-hmm. And it actually was really great. It was just this great, neat, navy blue kind of A-line skirt thing. And I thought that was just a cool little story that no one else would know. And I was like, I think that's really interesting. Was it my favorite thing? Would I wear it,
to the grocery store?
Yeah, maybe not. But, I don't know. Nothing really stands out. I'm going to be honest.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We were talking about the different equipment pieces earlier. Mm-hmm. So like the rifle and the saber. What is the easiest thing to teach how to use? Which piece of equipment?
I don't know if easiest is the word I would use. I think most kids connect faster with a flag because it's not so scary, because it's not a weapon, a quote unquote weapon, right? It's a little less daunting and a little bit easier to manage. So I think that's why we start everybody on flag. But for me, flag is not the easiest piece of equipment for me. It's really big and bulky and cumbersome to me. And I've only just now, like in the last few years, really started to enjoy playing with a flag more than I have in the past. But generally speaking, that's usually where people start.
Just because you start doesn't make it the easiest.
Correct. And I know people who are career flags that have never been on a weapon line, had no desire to, who are absolutely spectacular. It's just not me.
I feel like a flag would be, it's so hard to not be behind. And it's so obvious if you're ahead or behind.
Really exposed. Yeah.
So exact.
Or even if you, I guess, I don't know if twirl is the right word, like when you kind of, when it goes out of your hands, right? And
toss.
Spins. And then, yes, when you do a toss. It seems to me like that also, like the weight of the material of the flag, or like kind of the different weights
So
of
they're
it
actually weighted specifically for what we do.
Oh, really?
So they're kind of like big bolts, carriage bolts. The top of the pole has a 4-inch carriage bolt. And the bottom of the pole has a 2-inch carriage bolt. So the extra weight on the top of the pole helps with the drag of the silk.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of science there,
man.
Yes,
there is. That's awesome.
Lots of physics, yeah. We learn a lot about physics in my class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't either. I know. I love that.
Do you have to get new poles with new flags, or do you get to reuse the poles and you just
reuse
get
the
new
poles?
flags?
Yeah. And some people will use, there are a million different ways to do it, but some people, if you like a colored pole or whatever to go with the theme, and people use contact paper, and then, but that's just a real pain to get off. So I don't really do it that much, but there are ways to customize them, but generally speaking, they're all reusable, and just make sure they're weighted correctly, and just change the silk out.
About how many different flags would a student use or performer use in a show?
It depends on the show. Generally speaking, like this fall, we have 2 standard flags, which is the 6-foot pole with the regular standard flag, and then a set of double swing flags, which are the big, you hold one in each hand kind of thing. In a winter guard, shows are a little bit shorter. So we usually use 2 sets. But some use 1, some use 4. It just depends on the design of the show. But they are very expensive.
I was just about to ask, how expensive are the flags?
They are very expensive.
Like, what are we talking?
The double swing flags that we use in the ballad, the set of those that we bought, I think we bought 42 sets of those. And that came with a $9,000 price tag.
Wait, but you said 42 sets, right?
Yeah.
That to me seems...
That's 84 flags.
I know, but that seems reasonable to me.
It adds up. So now we have those. We have the silks that we have to use for the other 2 flags. And now I have 3 teams that I have to buy flag silks for the winter too, right? So it really is expensive. But the cool thing is I happen to be very good at repurposing things. And, there are groups on Facebook, and I have a million guard director friends, and we'll text each other in the group chat, hey, does anybody have anything that's soccer themed or what, and we'll kind of trade and borrow. And it's always fun this time of year. Everybody's posting, getting ready for the winter, and posting in the Facebook groups, does anybody have anything for this theme? I like to look and see what people come up with, but it adds up, because you have to remember that you're not just paying for the silk, right? You're paying for the graphic design. I do my own designs for the winter, but for the marching season, there's somebody else who does that we have to pay them, and then we have to order the silks, and then the shipping and the this and the that and the weights for the flags, depending on if the silk is longer or shorter. Or
I didn't think about that. The weights have to change based on the flag.
Yeah, it's not often, but it does happen. I try not to get myself too deep into that if I can help it.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you find the most difficult prop to control on the field or weapon? I didn't mean prop, equipment.
Yeah.
On the field or on the floor? Because those are two very different things.
We
call winter guard, we call it being on the floor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's do the field first because we are a marching band.
I feel very strongly that flag is the hardest to control outdoors because it's a giant sail. The wind will just take it and send it clear across a football field. And there's nothing you can do about it. And, that then the silk is sticking to your face and it's getting tangled up in your hair. It's completely insane. Generally speaking, if it weren't for the variables and if it weren't for those kind of elements, most people find saber to be the most difficult. It takes, first of all, it's a giant knife. It's a little scary. It's a little intimidating. But it takes a really specific finesse. And the weight of it is very unique, and you have to really, really understand how to use the weight of it in order to be successful. And it's just a really intricate piece of equipment, and not everybody connects with that. And it's also really painful. It hurts.
Last year, you had a whole little team out there.
We do this year too, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen the sabers.
In the second movement of the show, we've got sabers out there, but that's kind of my specialty. But what a lot of people don't understand is kind of similar to percussion. It's three completely different skill sets, right? So it's not. It's like they have to play three completely different instruments with three completely different skill sets, and it's like playing a clarinet, a trumpet, and a
saxophone.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wait, clarinet and saxophone are very similar.
But it really is. Aside from the fact that they use their hands, there's really nothing similar about the way you have to learn to manipulate these three pieces of equipment. So it takes a lot of work, and saber requires a lot of patience. So most people, it's one of those things that it clicks for you or it doesn't. And it clicked for me at a very, very young age, and it's always kind of been my thing.
Awesome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how someone gets to be part of the color guard. So back in the day, a long time ago, when I was in the high school marching band, our color guard were always folks that were already in the band, and so they were part of the band, and then they decided to become part of the color guard.
That's what we had too.
How does it work here? Because I feel like it's not like that anymore. How does it work? How does one become part of the color guard?
Show up. That's it. So I have a rule. You commit to us, I'll commit to you. Nobody gets cut from my program. We will find a place for you and meet you where you're at and make a home for you as long as you show that you are committed back, right? So we do workshops. We have a workshop coming up next week. We have another one at the end of October, which will also be our registration for Winter Guard season because it's.
So let's talk about that for a moment. October. What ages are you looking to bring in?
All of them.
From
all of them. So starting next week, actually, we're having our first workshop for K through 5.
Oh, wow.
I'm really excited about that, which a lot of people are like, oh, that's so young. That's not strange to me, right? Because
you started at 11.
It was a little nugget when I learned, So I'm really excited about that. And then we have another portion of the workshop for 6 through 12. That's it. Oh, you just show up, want to be there.
How would someone get a hold of you to register for that workshop? Because this will be out next Saturday.
Okay.
So you'll miss probably the K through 5 audience that might listen. I don't know who listens.
My email is always a great way to reach me. Something that's very important is the K Thompson 2 or the Hill Country volleyball coach will get it if you don't add the 2. And I feel so bad because she's always forwarding me emails. But also we've done a lot of work on the website, the Eve portion of the band website over the last year or so, and that's starting to come together. And hunt me down in the hallway, whatever you got to do, and we'll find a place for you. The website generally is the easiest way to go through because I am also on the all staff email list for 3 campuses.
Oh, okay.
So things get lost in my inbox from time to time. But also just reaching out to a current color guard parent or member those kids are just, they want everybody to come and be on their team and be a part of their family. And they get so excited if anybody were to come to them and say, hey, tell me about Color Guard. How can I join?
It's not too late. It's not too late if they decide in high school they want to join.
No. I've had kids come in senior year.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's great.
And they may not be a soloist on the varsity team, but the cool thing about Winter Guard and me being able to design our shows for our team is that I can create a role for everybody and set everybody up for success, you know? So, never too late. Never too late. And you just want to be there. Have hands. That's even negotiable, I guess. So we'll find a way, you know.
How many students are you working with right now?
Right now, I have currently in the fall season, I have 36 on the high school team. We have no JV in the fall, and we have no alternates.
Okay.
In the middle school classes right now, I only have about 20, which we're working on. We need more. Hello, people out there. Please tell your neighbors and all their kids to come do this really cool thing. But usually that builds quite a bit when we start getting into the competition season. After we register for that, I get 4th graders, 5th graders. They can all be on the competition team.
Oh, wow.
Even if they're not in the class.
Okay.
So that is something that's different for the middle school team, or the cadet team is what we call it. Anybody in the school district, 8th grade and below, can be on that team, even if they're not in the class. Whereas when you get into the high school, you have to be in the class to be on the team, and vice versa.
What would your ideal number of members be for marching season?
All of the children. I would like all of the kids. I don't know. It's a football field, so let's fill it up. I think where we're sitting right now is actually a really nice, sweet spot because, you know, my staff is fantastic, but we're small. You know, there's not very many of us, so this kind of 35 to 45 neighborhood is like a sweet spot because we're still able to give enough individual attention and without being overwhelmed, and no one's getting lost in the shuffle. Personally, I like that, but who doesn't want to see 100 flag silks out there?
That would be really impressive, wouldn't it? It really would look good.
I was trying to count one of the bands last year, and I think there had to be over 80 of them out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are some really big ones out there. Absolutely. But
But their band is much bigger, too. You know, it seems like it needs to be kind of proportional.
Yeah.
And I feel like y'all look very proportional right now.
I think for us, a challenge for us specifically at Westlake also is facilities. So it's hard to, right now we have kind of outgrown the space that we do have, but we're making it work. And, you know, the infrastructure of the school just doesn't really suit everybody having all of the time. You know, everybody's program is the most important to them. So everybody thinks that they should be the priority with the facilities, and so do I. So we're trying to figure it out. And, you know, the infrastructure of the school just doesn't always support that. So the bigger we get, the harder that's going to become. But I will figure it out. I'll figure it out.
2 classes.
We do in the winter. We do split. We split to the JV and varsity Winter Guard classes. So that's been really nice.
One of my students wanted me to ask you, do you consider color guard closer to dance or closer to like gymnastics, or what sport would you consider it closest to?
I wouldn't say that it's like dance. I would say that because dance is a part of what we do. So it's not like dance. It is dance. It's hard because Winter Guard, specifically WGI, which is Winter Guard International. I know that you've heard that a little bit. So for like Aunt Janet, who doesn't know what that is, it's Winter Guard International. The kind of slogan for Winter Guard International is Sport of the Arts.
Oh, okay.
And it really, truly is. I mean, I talk to my students all the time about when we're creating something and we're learning choreography, or we're talking about the acting style, or we're talking about the expressive quality of the things that we're doing. That's the art part. And then when I'm yelling and again, and we're repping and going crazy. That's the sport part. And both have equal responsibility and equal value. And I think that's something that's very, very specific to what we do. This is going to sound really funny. I would say it's probably, as far as that, the athleticism that a lot of people don't realize goes into it makes me think of figure skating a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that.
I can totally see that.
Like that is a niche skill, and it is a skill that you are either very, very good at or you are going to get very, very hurt. But it's also beautiful and artistic. And so I think that color guard is probably most like figure skating in that way.
I had not even thought of that.
I hadn't either, but that makes total sense.
It can be very, very dangerous, but it also can be very, very beautiful.
So in your time with color guard, have you seen, or when was that shift where more and more dance has become incorporated into what color guard does? Because again, hearkening back to my long ago days in marching band, I feel like our color guard was really more called even just a flag corps, because they really did, it seemed like, just work with the flags, and they didn't do quite as many dance moves. But do you feel like there was a transition at some point?
There was. I mean, there are still color guards that operate more like drill teams. That's not really what we do. Sort of like how there are still military style bands, right? Like we just saw that at a football game not too long ago. But the majority of this competitive arena that we're in is very, very dance based. I would say in the 80s, specifically in Winter Guard, is where that kind of started
to change.
There was a gentleman by the name of Stanley Knob, who was early, like one of the original WGI kind of board members and been around. And he sort of spearheaded the whole entrance of more motion and modern dance. And he kind of pioneered that whole movement. And I was lucky enough to have been taught by him later on in his life. And that just started a whole movement. I mean, literally and figuratively. Yes. And it's now to the point where, I mean, there's a group I teach in Atlanta who's, they're like world champion adults, professional level. And any one of those color guard performers could be in a professional dance company and just knock it out of the park. Yeah, I would say probably around the early to mid 80s is when people started to kind of experiment a little bit more with the art part of it and move away from the more militarized kind of style. But it has really taken on a life of its own. I mean, there's an entire judging caption in Winter Guard that is just movement. So yeah, it's a huge part of it.
The high school Eve group goes to national competitions. Where are those? What are those? And how does Westlake normally fare?
Westlake Winter Guard program, for everybody, also for anybody who may not know this, Eve is not a thing anywhere else. So if you were to go to somebody...
And I'm going to interrupt you really quickly. I am probably one of those people. What is Eve?
It's a great question. So if you went to anybody else at a color guard show or at a band show and said, "Oh, your Eve was fantastic," they would be like, "What are you talking about?"
Right. That would be me.
2 directors before me, I believe. I don't know if he was trying to be fancy or what. But he decided that they were, instead of the Westlake Color Guard, they were going to be the Elite Visual Ensemble.
Okay. Got it.
That's Eve. It's fine. Now it's kind of a thing, and there's a lot of history and a lot of alumni who are really attached to it, and the community knows it. But I have, in sort of the rebranding over the last 4 years or so, tried to make it a little more of a subtext so that people understand it's Westlake Color Guard, Elite Visual Ensemble. Really?
Yes.
So it's still there, but that's not really a thing anywhere else. So for context, now you know. Our Winter Guard teams compete in 2 circuits. So you know how the marching band competes in UIL and BOA, right? Similarly, we do TCGC, which is Texas Color Guard Circuit, and WGI, Winter Guard International. Our cadet team only competes in TCGC, They compete against other middle school and younger. It's absolutely precious if you ever get a chance to go see it. The cadet team actually won their state championship last year for the very first time ever. That was a huge deal. And it was really, really fun to watch them succeed in that way. And then our JV and varsity high school teams both also compete with the Texas Color Guard circuit, and that's all in state. The JV has medaled. They've been on the podium quite a bit. They won quite a few competitions last year. They were fantastic. And the varsity Winter Guard team just won their 4th straight state title.
Wow.
So yeah, they're pretty great. And then WGI has regionals, much in the way that BOA does. So we usually do 2 regionals. Last year was just the varsity for the regionals. This year I am taking the JV Winter Guard to a regional as well, because I am a crazy person and, I hate resting. So there's that. And then just yesterday, I registered the varsity team for World Championships in April. And my first year with Westlake as the director, they were the bronze medalists in the world in their class.
Wow, that's so impressive. That's awesome.
It was a really big deal.
Yeah.
And then, so then we were reclassified to the next highest class. Very, very difficult thing to do again was to be reclassified and bump up. We graduated 90% of that bronze medalist group, and they came out top 10 in the new class the next year. And they've been top 10 in open classes where they are now for the last 3 years. And they're pretty amazing. So going back this year and see what happens.
So when are the Winter Guard competitions primarily? Are they like December, January, February? Are they in November? Where?
The first contest is the last weekend in January.
Oh, okay.
And then World Championships is the second week in April.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It alters a little bit year to year, depending on holidays and things like that. But this year, that's kind of where the cookie crumbles.
Got it.
I can tell you the band members that I've spoken to have mad respect for the Color Guard.
So do I. They work really hard.
That's so different than when we were in school. For the band to say, "Oh, the Color Guard's fantastic. The Color Guard is the
love
best."
That. And I've worked, even as a Color Guard person, I have performed and worked at places where that mutual respect wasn't really there, and 9 times out of 10, it came from the top down. The band director didn't really respect or value as much as I thought they could have, and that trickles down to the students, right? So we're really lucky here to have a team of directors and a community who really understands and values the contributions that the Color Guard makes and the amount of work that it takes. I really, really, really encourage anybody to come and sit and observe a rehearsal where it's just the Color Guard. It's pretty impressive. Those kids work so hard, and I ask a lot of them.
In the fall during marching band, do y'all? You're not always on the field with the marching band practicing, right? You have
Correct.
Separate practices.
Yeah, so here's something else to think of and an interesting perspective. I've actually been talking about this a lot recently because we're in it right now. For the band, they work really, really hard. It's so complicated. The music's so complicated. Learning the drill, putting the music with the drill, adding. But, they have a piece of sheet. They have sheet music.
Right.
And they have the drill.
Right.
With what the Color Guard does, I am literally, for lack of a better word, inventing it as we go.
Oh, okay.
So to do that while all of the band is doing we have to move at a really fast pace. They have to learn very, very quickly because we're learning the drill. I'm inventing the skills. Right? It's like you just invent a music note, teach it to them, and perform it the next day. And, and put it in drill and do that. So, so it is just a little bit more efficient for us to be on our own sometimes. And so we'll go off on our own, write the choreography, learn the choreography, put it in the drill, so on and so forth. And then when it's ready, then we'll come and put it with the band. It is more efficient, but it's also just safer that way.
Well, the band is also, they don't need to learn to march, and they don't need to waste their time with all the band drill.
But they have they have a million of their own things.
Right.
So it's good for us to have time apart so that nobody's presence is rhetorical. You know, no one's standing around while there's other things going on. So, and it makes it more fun when we do get together and be with the band. And yeah, like I said, luckily the band and the color guard at Westlake, more so than anywhere I've ever worked, it feels like a one unit. It doesn't feel segregated at all. And that's a really, really special thing that we have at Westlake that a lot of people don't have.
So I don't know if you ever listen to the shows online, but I was trying to think where it was. Somebody must have posted it because I've never watched the shows online because I've just gone. But the announcer commented about the amazing Westlake color guard.
No, really? Where was this?
It was on maybe one of the BOA things. It was either UIL or BOA. It was down in San Antonio. And the announcer actually called out the amazing
very cool
Westlake color guard.
I love that. Send it to me if you have it. I would love to hear that.
That's probably 2 years ago. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, they've made but they have absolutely earned a reputation for themselves, and it's well deserved. But, you know, setting a standard is one thing, but raising the standard is another thing. And so that's, you know, forward motion all the time. And so they absolutely deserve all the accolades as long as it doesn't mean that we get complacent, which I don't see that being a thing. They're hungry. I love it.
What else would you like to tell us that we haven't covered? Is there something you want to, like a message you want to get out there to?
Yeah, I mean, just all of our rehearsals are open. So the biggest thing that we need right now as a program, especially in this community, is for people to educate themselves about it or want to know about it so that, you know, they don't feel so misunderstood, and so that people really understand the amount of work that these kids, you know, there's nothing stranger than putting all of your heart and soul into something and walking down the hallway and nobody has any idea, you know? So I think just educating the community and getting them out there and getting them some exposure. I mean, just in the 4+ years that I've been doing this job, it has changed significantly, and we're really lucky. You know, Diane Parks is a really huge supporter of the program, and we have a Eve parent who's on the school board, and you know, Jeff Arnett was a huge supporter of the color guard program, and he used to come around quite a bit. So it has taken off, but more of that. I think if you're curious, come ask questions and watch these kids work. It really is just spectacular.
And primarily, where do you rehearse?
If we're outdoors, we're either on field 3, which is like the soccer field that's across the street by the baseball diamond. No, softball field. Is softball over there?
It is softball.
Yeah, sports. The sports thing.
Okay, got it.
Across the street. Or we're in the stadium with the band. And then when we're indoors, we are usually 9 times out of 10 in the 9th grade center gym.
Okay.
Kind of adjacent to the practice fields over there. Our rehearsals are always open. I encourage people to they'll blow your mind, man. They're really, really incredible kids, and the responsibilities that they have just being students at Westlake alone, for them to put as much as they do into this thing because they care about it so much is really incredible to see. They're great. They're awesome. So I encourage you to tell them if you see them do something that you think is amazing, and ask them questions about it, because they love it just as much as I do, you know, and they want to share that. And I think it means a lot to them when people show interest, you know.
I want to tell you, just from a volunteer with the band and feeding the band and everything, your Eve students are so polite and so nice.
That makes me very happy. But, you know, that's what they do, how they are and who they are and what they do off of the field or off of the floor. We talk a lot about that being even more important than what they do on the field or on the floor. And I think that the culture that collectively we've been able to create in the Eve program is pretty special. And I love when parents come to me and they're like, my kid called me sir the other day. And I'm like, you are welcome. Great. Yeah. Oh, they're great kids. They're very, very sweet kids. But that we value that a lot, and we talk about it constantly. And it's in our handbook. And I run a pretty tight ship when it comes to that stuff, but it just makes them great humans. And, you know, nobody doesn't like it when they hear please or thank you or yes, sir, no, ma'am,
right.
you know?
That's right.
It's great.
I guess those are all of our questions for you. We really want to thank you for taking the time this afternoon. Like, we are just so appreciative of all the folks. And we've really, I don't know, I feel like I've learned quite a bit today.
Oh, yeah.
All sorts of very interesting things that I didn't know. And so we thank you for that.
Thank you.
And so listeners as well, if there is something that you still want to know more about, or maybe even you want to know about these different opportunities for you to try out ColorGuard, please make sure you email us. You can email us at fansoftheband.whs@yahoo.com, and we can get that information to you. So that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you again.
Hey, thank
really
you so
loved
much.
it.
That was really fun. Thank you.